Charade, aka Lala Teaching Artist at the Door. And today I am going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do a little bit of cosmetology. We're going to do some blocking out of the eyebrows. Okay. So I'm going to block out my eyebrows and I'm going to try to create a smooth surface, you know, that's going to go cohesively with my face and just fade into my foundation and everything. So first, let me tell you the things you're going to need for this. Pretty much you're gonna need a glue stick. It could be any type of glue stick. I have two over here. I never use the Scotch one, but normally I use an Elmer's glue. You're gonna need a translucent powder. And if you don't have a translucent powder, you can use baby powder. But you're definitely gonna have to use a lot of that. So a good translucent powder would be great. And I'm actually gonna let you know how to do it both ways, two different ways. Okay, so we can use the glue stick or we can use some eyelash glue if you happen to have that. So first things first, my face is already moisturized because, you know, before you do anything, you wanna prep your skin. But I did happen to get some moisturizer on my brows. So in order to just start with a good base, I'm gonna just wipe off some of that right here. This is a spray bottle of alcohol. You can just wipe off your brows with maybe a sponge, a dry towel. Doesn't necessarily have to be alcohol, some water, anything like that. So today I'm blocking out my eyebrows. Normally we do some painting, some sketching, but we do a little bit of everything here. You just happened to catch me making these two things disappear, okay? So I'm cleaning off my eyebrows, getting rid of all that oil, moisturizer, residue. And now that it's dry, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this brush right here. It's a spoolie. You can see that real quick. I'm gonna brush up my brows. Okay, I'll brush that up on both sides. And then I am going to, there's two ways you can do this. You can just swipe up with your glue stick, or you could just get crazy and get your glue stick everywhere inside the hairs of your brows. And then we're gonna take that spoolie again and we're gonna flatten that out a bit. Now this is to create a smooth surface. Let me try to get a little closer. As you can see, now the excess glue, I tend to wipe it with my finger. I'm just gonna keep going. So while we let that dry, I'm gonna do the other side. So we have our first layer done. Normally I like to let that dry a little bit, and then I'll go in with the second layer. Now you can do this, you know, based on what your eyebrows are. If they're like thick, you might want to do it at least 4 or 6 times, you know, to really, really lay down the hair because you want to work with the smooth canvas. So I'm gonna go in again. My brows aren't that thick, they're pretty thin. So, okay, and I'm gonna do it again. Now, when I do like Halloween theatrical makeup, I like to do it 6 times just to make sure everything lays in place. Now, once I have every brow hair where I need it to be, laying down flat, you know, I can wipe off this excess right here, or I can leave it. Now I go in with my powder. Now I'm gonna take a sponge that I have here and I'm gonna dip it into this powder. Okay, so this is the translucent powder. I'm gonna actually put some on the top right here. And now I'm gonna take the butt of my sponge, and yes, it's used. I'm gonna take the butt of my sponge and stamp it into the powder. And now I am just going to stamp this powder all on my brow, cover it up, 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 up. And when I stamp it, I'm actually pressing down hard because I want to get in between every individual hair. Okay. Press it down because it was still a little wet. I'm going to dust the rest of this off. Stamp it down. And you can see how high, how far up I have the glue because I didn't clean off all of that. But, you know, it's your preference. You can do that if you want. So I'm just stamping this powder, pressing hard. So I have this nice smooth appearance. And you can see where all the glue is right here. Dust this off a bit. And for the most part, it is nice and smooth. And you're gonna see how it looks. And it's very, very simple, very easy. I only did, what, about 2 layers. But you know, normally you can do more to just make sure it's nice and secure. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna use some foundation. This is Juvia's Place foundation. This is a little darker than my skin tone. I think, actually, this is the wrong color. So this is a light one. So I tend to mix my foundations. I'm gonna use a darker color because I did tan. My face is darker than my neck though, but it's okay. So I'll put this lighter shade in the center and right here on the sides. I didn't color correct or anything like that. Right now, I just wanna be all one color just so you can see how the brows look once it's topped with foundation. So I'm just using a semi-flat fluffy brush. Okay, and you see I have 2 different colors. The lighter color is in the center. So I'm gonna blend that out right here with my brush. It's mostly about the brows, so let me just bring it all the way up here. Try to serve as a highlighter. Then I'm gonna tap it. See now, for the outside of my skin, I swipe and blend in, right? But because we have a thin layer of powder on our face, we don't want to do that. What we want to do is we want to tap it in, stamp in the color, because we don't want to move the powder. We don't want to move the glue. We just want to stamp it on. So I'm just doing this at the center of my forehead. And then I'm going to drag it down into my under eye area because this is the lighter shade. And now I'm going to stamp the color onto my brow that I set. And I'll swipe it up at the top, stamp it, stamp it. Surprisingly enough, my face is still darker than the foundation. That's what happens when you get sun. So make sure you use SPF. Okay, so I'm just gonna stamp that out. This I'm going to blend in with my sponge, wherever my powder was at. Okay, swipe this all over. Don't forget your ears. We don't want to be 14 different colors. We want to kind of be, you know, at least 2 different colors. You know, we have a highlight, we have our contour. And that's the contour is really basically the shadows of our face. So, okay, we all want to get this together, get our ears. If you have any other foundation, you can just drag it down because my neck is lighter. So we're just gonna drag down this product a little bit and boom. So you see how my eyebrows are gone? You see how it's not so clumpy or anything like that. It's actually nice and smooth. From a distance, can you tell? You think I had brows, right? So that was a quick and easy way to block out your brows. Again, you wanna set your makeup so it stays in place. Now, what I did here is block out the brow, but I'm gonna set it with some powder. I'm gonna use a brush. Let's see. I'm gonna use this brush right here. It's kind of the same brush, but it's a little bit smaller. Okay, I'm gonna tap this there because I have so much powder. But if you want the most powder, you can just tap your brush into the palm of your hand or your desk and get all the powder inside the bristles. Now I'm gonna tap this powder on my brow because we're setting my brow again. Okay. And we're doing this because we don't want it to move. Okay. And then I just go over it one more time with the leftover foundation on the brush. I didn't add anything different. I didn't put no more foundation or anything like that. And boom.